will pop in for like 30 seconds.
Haig needs a 2-putt bogey to win here on number 72 at the Rusty Putter in St. John. Ooh. He zips that one past the hole, and with that tap in, another 3-putt puts Haig and Perry score through 72.
Look
We
at
live?
that. We're back. We're live.
I love that intro.
Yeah, it's we got to maybe trim it down a little bit. Maybe make it an out. We need an outro, or
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever go to Blackhawks games like in the little dynasty there from like 10 to 15.
Oh yeah, yep. That's time to go.
They would like about 4 minutes before they would come out and do their warm up skate. They would do like a little flash into the locker room, and then you knew that Ted Nugent was about to come on.
Yep.
Maybe that's we'll need that.
Like
maybe
that.
we can be over there like hitting golf balls and stuff. Yeah. They like pan in on us. Oh, they're going to be talking about something awesome today.
Yep.
And then there's nothing really that great to talk about.
But not safe stuff. But
we don't have Adam Meli Kalikimaka. I believe he's in Hawaii.
He's an MIA. Well, he was on last week, right?
He was. Yeah,
he was. I did see him last week.
Yeah,
I did that with the golf ball.
He survived that. I'm curious how the 9-hour flight to the Pacific was with the a little bit of a swollen noggin, but yeah, I think the staples are right over there. If you want, we could put them in your head if you want.
No. That's all right. Yeah, he's probably feeling better now. He's in Hawaii, so
it's. You ever been to Hawaii?
I've never been. Want to go, but I heard it's now it's cracked up.
I'm a pretty big dissenter on Hawaii.
Yeah,
we went, and it was like the end of COVID type stuff. So Hawaii, I think, is still under COVID lockdown, but
really,
they're very anti-mainlander.
Yes, I've heard that.
And they don't like to drive fast there either.
Everything's slow.
Very slow island time. Really though, like there's some great food, and then there's some horrible food there though.
What is the food like?
It's a lot of like Japanese American culture.
That's
like
kind of
udon noodles.
I thought it would be. Yeah.
And then there was like this Duke's place that was pretty good. I think he's a famous surfer type guy, but cheeseburgers are like $34 there. If you're looking at
$34,
yeah, if you're looking to buy a house, probably not the best place to book a vacation to prior to.
Yeah. Wait till after you get the house, save some money up, and
that will bust the budget a little bit. But what else we get? So we have, I think we labeled this episode the Amen Corner here.
Corner.
Yeah, we got the Masters coming up this weekend.
Yes, we do. Yep.
Who do you got to win here? We got some live odds, so we'll pull those up. Yeah, I think Scotty Scheffler was.
I was going to say Scheffler. I was going to be.
Yeah, he's plus 450 to win.
That's not bad, then. Huh?
Rory plus 1100, Rahm 1100, Xander Schauffele plus 14.
What do you like best? Are you like Rahm plus 1100?
I do. How do you know? Are you looking at all my live? So I'm sorry, that wasn't the all the odds. That was my bets. I do like Rahm plus 1100.
I think that's a good bet. You can throw a little money in that and win something decent.
Rory too. Rory, he was on here at plus 1100.
Has he done anything good lately?
Lately, he hasn't won a major in a while. He's played decent golf though, but the guy's got a lot of pressure on him. He sat there, ran out. I'm all PGA. I'm all PGA. And then like gets stuck in the back by the PGA and the whole Live merger. So we'll give him a break. However, I do want to talk about these ones, Nick.
Okay.
Tiger Woods, bogey free round plus 1200. You in or you out?
Bogey free whole round plus 1200.
Yeah,
I'm probably out on that.
All right. How about this one? Tiger Woods hole in one on hole 4 plus 40,000.
I'll throw a little money in it.
I mean, $100. $100 would get you 40 grand, right?
It's a good down payment.
Now here's what's interesting. All right. Tiger Woods hole in one on number 6 plus 13,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's the big difference there?
Probably the whole. It gets crazier. Well, it gets crazier. So Tiger Woods hole in one on 16 plus 9,000.
Yeah, I wouldn't take that one.
Tiger Woods to break the course record plus 15,000.
I thought it'd be higher.
I would have thought so too, but he's got a better chance on a couple hole in ones than to break the course record.
Throw a little money on the hole in ones and see what happens.
We'll see what goes on with Tiger. I love to watch him play. I know it's a whole different thing. It's probably not as drastic as watching Michael Jordan on the Wizards, but
no, it's still people tune in to watch Tiger. I mean, you won't even be in the round and he'll still stop everything just to turn to watch Tiger. So
and like now he's so much more approachable now too. I love to watch his little training videos and all of that stuff.
Yeah. Well, he'd been through a lot, but that run he had was, it was dominant. I mean, it was every every week. I mean, people tuned in to watch golf because of Tiger. When he was out for a while, I mean, just the ratings of golf went.
Oh yeah, and they all of a sudden they figured out, hey, let's just split leagues up and try some other things.
Yeah.
But we go from like a Tiger was a dominant run there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But as he's aged and been injured, he's had to adapt. He's had to make some changes.
Yep.
No different than real estate in the mortgage world.
No.
We'll talk about some of those and how to make your real estate transaction not feel like Amen Corner.
Yeah.
We have this whole NAR Department of Justice lawsuit continues to hang a cloud, create massive confusion.
Yep. And has it changed anything in yours?
Not yet, but like it's creating a lot of confusion, and I think we probably need to address some of that right now.
Yeah.
One piece of that is this was a proposed settlement. It's not law. It's not, the proposed settlement date is July.
Yeah.
So it's not law. There is not a law that's now saying you can't provide broker co-op compensation to a buyer's agent right now.
Right.
So it's business as relatively usual here.
It has been. Yep.
And if you have questions about this, you can reach out to Nick. You can reach out to me. You can reach out to Adam's office. We have a couple other agents on here that we like and talk about. You can reach out to them. They're professionals. They're in this every day, and they'll give you guys answers. Last time I checked, you don't charge an hourly rate like an attorney to give you a phone call, do you?
I don't. Nope.
All right.
Only get paid at the closing table. That's it. So, but free education. I'm happy to help people out and let them know what's going on, because there's a lot of confusion and all that stuff. So,
buying a house or selling a house is too important of a transaction to not get information.
Absolutely. Yep.
And to rely on the internet and the interwebs, like we're talking about relying on social media type posts, right?
Yeah.
Where people are arguing if it's a blue dress or a gold dress, like all of this other thing, like all this crazy stuff. And I continue to just see the degradation of it. And then the other day I saw two things that were outrageous. Okay. I saw a TikTok about how to avoid taxes.
No, people are jumping on that.
Here's what's crazy.
Yeah. The
person who posted it, their response to everyone's question was the hands up emoji. It was like, well, here, let me just post this and get a bunch of clicks because none of it makes sense. Yeah, right. This person's not a licensed tax, or not a CPA, not a tax preparer, and they're talking about how to avoid capital gains tax on real estate transactions that doesn't even make zero sense. You have to vet these people, right?
Yeah,
I think that we talked about this a couple episodes ago when we had Tony Minadero on too. Like we see all these get rich quick schemes. I think that if you're going to try to run a scheme like that, you should have to provide your financial statement.
Yeah. I mean,
let's look into this thing, right? Yeah. Let's see if you really if there's actual revenue and income to be had here, or if this is just some type of scheme that doesn't actually make sense.
Clickbait.
And you probably see it all the time, right?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, we're going to buy a house, right? And then it's like you call that little number on the telephone pole.
Yep. And
then it's, oh yeah, we'll buy a house, but it's got to we got to do a double escrow wholesale deal.
Yeah.
And then you're like, look at this, and this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And you're probably going to get screwed if you're the seller in that one.
Well, they typically do. That's what it is.
Again, all it is, phone call, right?
Phone call.
Just ask a question. And there's no bad questions. I tell that people all the time in conversations. There's no such thing as a bad question.
None whatsoever.
What's the craziest question that you've probably had without exposing a customer?
The craziest question? I mean, I can't think top of my head right now, but I mean, it's every day I'm getting any kind of questions and they're not bad questions. None of them are. They want to know people with that information. We're the professionals in order to provide that information to you guys, and that's why you call us. I don't charge an hourly rate. You're not bothering me if you give me a phone call to ask me questions. I'd rather be the educator to you, so that whenever we do move forward, or you're looking to buy or sell a home, you have someone that you trust who actually gave you some information up front, and I believe that you're kind of the same way. I mean, you don't charge an hourly rate.
No, I would love to, but I don't. I'd rather. I love to provide people with information. Yes, I have perspective. You have perspective. You've been party to so many transactions.
Yeah.
In the last 2.5 months, you and I have worked on a deal where a borrower brought $0 to closing.
Yes, we did.
And dealt with the borrower that brought $500,000 to closing.
Yep. Two opposite sides of the
inside of a 60-day period.
Yep.
Like there's that type of cutting that swath of buyers and sellers. Like it provides perspective on everything. We know what it takes for entry level first time home buyer, and we know what it takes for a home buyer or a home seller selling a custom home or buying a custom home, right?
Well, I tell people all the time, there's a million different ways all these transactions can go. There's no set in stone thing. There's no, it can go this way, that way, or this way. There's a million different ways that all these things can go. That's why you call us, someone that you know, someone that you trust, someone that you see out there doing it that has some professionalism to them and understands, how it works and, wants to build a good, honest business with you and a good, honest rapport with you, not someone that you don't know and just hoping to get something quick done. You want the real education, people who are in it, people who actually care about their business, want a good reputation and want to help you in order to continue to grow their business.
Do you want to take the feel good, or do you want to take like just the feel good, the emotional high, or do you want to take the reward in your bank account? Right. At the end of the day, like, you have the pain of discipline, right? Or, like if you're disciplined with it, you work with someone that's disciplined, it's going to result in a better transaction, whether you're buying or selling.
Yeah. No, I mean, absolutely. 100%.
So cover that a little bit, but that's this whole settlement, right? That creates tons of confusion. The world is going to change at some point. We don't know where it lands. The Department of Justice I actually read through their statement of interest. They're coming at realtors pretty damn hard right now.
Mm-hmm.
But a quality agent brings in, I don't even know how to explain exponential value.
Absolutely.
And I was thinking about this on my drive over here today, and I'll out myself a little bit on real estate transactions here. I've legitimately have bought and sold close to 150 houses in my life already.
There you go.
We've had, I did a lot of home, buy, fix and flip, have, bought and sold a couple regular houses, primary house, all of that stuff. So out of 150, we'll say transactions, Nick, guess how many I did not use a real estate agent on?
0.
Close. One.
Yeah.
One.
How'd that go?
It went perfect.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to, but here's why. I told somebody 3 years prior that when I decided to sell my house, I would sell it to them if they wanted it when I decide to do it, right? Yep. I had no reason to market it to the open market because this person, I told them that I would sell them my house.
Right. Yep.
3 years previously.
You weren't trying to hit the open market and gain any
traction. Correct. And I knew what my number was, and I knew what I had agreed to this person to sell my house for. I could have legitimately picked up an extra $45,000 if I wanted to put it on the open market and list it with a real estate agent. That's $45,000. That I could have sold that thing for $345 versus $300.
Yeah.
But I told someone that every other transaction that I've participated in has had a real estate agent.
Yep. It helps.
It's unbelievable. I used a real estate agent to be connected with the builder to build my current house.
Mm-hmm.
That real estate agent may or may not have been on one of these podcasts once or twice before.
Yep.
And I'm in the trenches I've participated in over 7,000 mortgage transactions in my career. I could probably navigate the process, but the value of a real estate agent is tenfold.
Well, yeah, and you're saying it right there. I mean, you've done how many transactions? You're in the business on the lending side, but you kind of still understand how everything works, vice versa with us and you guys. We don't know everything about that. We refer to you, but we have an idea how it works. But, someone who isn't as sophisticated in real estate as you are, and like you said, you use a real estate agent for everything that you do. Someone who isn't sophisticated in real estate should not try to be selling their home by owner. Or
definitely not. We've talked about this. So most of the transactions on the Illinois side of the border over here that we participate in use the multi-board 7.0 contract.
Yep.
It's 13 pages long.
Yep.
There are little caveats and little requirements in there, right? Because it's a contract. And I think that's taken for granted way too often.
Yeah.
That if a real estate contract is a contract, it's a legally binding document.
Yes. Yep.
You have dates to meet in there, right? Financing contingency, inspection periods.
Yep.
So what happens when you don't have someone to monitor those dates, right? You don't have someone that tells you, hey, this is the inspection period timeline. If you don't get a home inspection and send repair requests to the seller by this time period, the seller is not obligated to make those repairs, but you're still obligated to buy that damn house.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You know, people think, well, I can get an attorney for that. You know, all the attorneys aren't on top of that kind of stuff. They deal maybe the inspection repair requests, you know, they're not involved in all the dates and everything. And it depends who you're getting, obviously. But I mean,
and I think the other part of the value of a real estate agent that gets overlooked substantially is their Rolodex of professional partners.
Is the role of what?
The Rolodex of professional partners.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
They can connect you with a good mortgage person, a good home inspector, a good attorney, a good moving company, a good insurance agent.
Yep.
Like and by good, I mean, good is a very subjective term, right? But objectively, people that are responsive, professional, and provide quality advice.
Yeah. No, that's exactly what it is, you know. And I mean, just a story that we were doing the other day, you know, that Sunday I went all the way out to Huntley to show a couple houses. We ended up getting, you know, my clients were very well clients, but they didn't have the pre-approval set. It was kind of a rush thing. Oh, they like a couple places up there. Let's go take a look. We're in the process of getting the pre-approval through Chase Bank. Well, they didn't have the pre-approval that they needed. We had to put an offer in because the offers were due at 3:00 that day. We were out there at 1 p.m. So we had 2 hours to decide if they want to buy this house out in Huntley.
Crunch time, baby.
Yeah, we're calling Chase Bank. Chase Bank is closed because they're only open 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. No way in heck are we going to beat out multiple offers that have cash for this home. So we call Tony. But, you know, if you don't have a real estate agent who doesn't have a Rolodex of partners like Tony, we call Tony. I said, hey, you know, how do you guys need to use Chase Bank? I mean, I can get you in touch with our guy right now, and we can probably get you the approval set up. As long as you got all your info, you can hand it to them. They had it already. So they handed it to him. We got pre-approved. I think by 4:00, I was talking with the agent that we got the accepted offer, calling you up, and now we're rocking and rolling.
Yeah, and I think I want that to be very clear. Nick put that offer together and negotiated that. He beat out cash offers.
Yes.
With financing.
Multiple cash offers with financing.
Now, in some cases, right, people like to occasionally try to time the market. That's impossible to time the market, right? There's way too many forces going on there. These people wanted to live in this particular community,
yes.
Right?
Yep.
For the lifestyle benefits, they wanted to be there. They wanted to be closer to a family member. And this was the community. They had to move quickly, and it was this house. They were willing to offer or make their offer as good as cash, right? Because they had all their documentation ready to go. So we were able to issue a solid, reviewed, validated pre-approval letter.
Yep. They
use the situation appraisal gap coverage, which we're going to offer this. If the appraisal doesn't come in at that, we're not going to break the contract or kill it on financing. We're going to bring in the difference up to this particular amount, right?
That's a great point. Yeah. Yep.
And we knew on our side from the lending side, when I call that listing agent and say, I understand that you're going to get 105 offers on this house. Mm-hmm. A lot of them are going to be cash. A lot of them are going to, some are going to have financing. I've already reviewed these people's financials. They have the capability to cover that appraisal gap coverage.
Right.
So at that point, that takes that financed offer and makes it nearly a cash offer.
Nearly a cash offer. Correct. Yep.
And that is something that in one, availability, right? Being able to go to Huntley on a whim from here is probably an hour and a half drive.
An hour and a half, yep.
And negotiate successfully with another real estate agent, right? To help, and at that point, her sellers are trying to maximize their return.
Oh, yeah.
But they also have to look at it from a feasibility or reasonability of closing percentage, right? Mm-hmm. When you're on the listing side and you get a bunch of offers on a house, you're presenting those offers to your seller and likely going high percentage of close, lower percentage of close, right?
Yep. That's part of our marketing pitch in order to our sellers. We're obviously price is king. Everybody wants the highest price you can possibly get, but we take the time that you got to look at every, like you said, caveat within that offer. We want to get to the closing table. That is the most important thing. So we're vetting all the lenders, making sure, we might get an offer that's $2,000 above the next offer we got, but this offer is as is. These people won't go as is. So, they might be asking for a repair request on an extension. And these people that are $2,000 higher or $3,000, whatever it may be, they might be putting all their money that they have into the house. They don't have any money to cover, appraisal repair request, inspection repair request. These guys might have $30,000-$40,000 in the bank. You know what I mean? And they might be okay, and they might be putting more money down. So we're looking at everything to make sure that they're strong buyers. And, maybe we give up that $2,000 higher on this price to take these guys because these guys are stronger. I know we're going to get the closing deal.
And I think that's the value that a real estate agent brings on the sales side of it, right? Or you want to go sell your house. Mm-hmm. They know, like, Nick's local. He does a lot of business in the local marketplace. Mm-hmm. He knows, well, hey, that lender probably looks a little, that approval letter, that pre-qual letter looks a little sketchier. Why does this borrower have the financing section of the contract filled out, and we didn't even get a pre-qualification letter or a pre-approval letter, mm-hmm. right? Like, this person's likely, okay, they offered 10 grand over the next highest offer, but they're not even committed to a lender. Like, they haven't had a sit-down conversation. Everyone loves to put a number on a piece of paper until they see what the payment's going to be, or they see what the cash out of pocket's going to be.
Right. An offer with pre-approval is just paper. Just written on paper.
You might as well write it on Charmin half the time.
I won't even negotiate with anybody who doesn't have a pre-approval. We're not going to begin to go back and forth and negotiate, what we would do with this and that. We need to see a pre-approval, and then I need to vet your lender. I need to call your lender. I need to ask him the questions that we normally ask to make sure that he's strong, and then we will go back to our sellers and we will start negotiating. But yeah, anybody can do that. They can go in there and offer whatever they want. Oh, God, we got this price. Oh, but they're not pre-approved. Well, you wasted time now. You could have had these other people, who are doing what they're doing. But the Rolodex of partners, I think that you talked about is key. You know what I mean? And a lot of people always say, we've hit on it a lot, but I get it all the time. Why pay a realtor? What's the value that a realtor brings? And you can, put it on Zillow. I said, well, one, if you list with a realtor, they go on a lot more sites than just Zillow. They go on a million different sites, but also we have the partners. These deals go smoothly because we work a relationship with you. We work a relationship with Adam Haig and his team. We work a relationship with our attorney. So everything can kind of go smoothly. So on the outside in, it seems easy, but when you're on the inside of all this, it's not easy. We're constantly making phone calls, constantly out there, pitching stuff, making sure, hey, did you get this for that person? Did you get that? Just so that we don't have to, because the buyers and sellers have enough, stuff going on already. They don't need to deal with
extremely emotional for them. And I think and I think that's when you begin to lose when you rationale and rational thinking goes out of the window when you ignite the emotional thing, right?
Yep.
So for the buyer, I'm getting a new house, I'm moving, I got to get my old house packed up, I got to, I'm up against a landlord that's kicking me out.
I'm working 5 days a week.
Seller, like a lot of times people are selling a house for upsizing, downsizing, change in family. Yep. There's some emotional ties there, right? Oh, yeah. What you get a seller that had the house, they built this house, they've lived in it for 35 years, and now there's emotions there.
Yep. A lot of memories, a lot of.
And I'm not to say that Nick's a wet blanket or I'm a wet blanket on any of this stuff, but I think we provide the guiding light, right? If ships still didn't need lighthouses,
yeah,
right? It's, we're the safe harbor.
Got GPS on the phone. They'll get there.
Yeah, just ask that one over there in Pennsylvania or in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Hey, look at the power went out. Look at that, crushed the bridge.
Yep.
But I think as this real estate agents continue to take a beating in the media. Now, I'm not gonna lie. There are plenty of real estate agents that deserve a little bit of a beating in the media, just like there's plenty of lenders that do, politicians.
We can talk about that, and I think Tony Minadero, when I was listening to your podcast and last kind of hit it right. So there's NAR stuff that's coming out. I think what it's going to do is it's kind of weed out the bad agents, and people are going to, because the fees are always going to be the fees. You know what I mean? That's people understanding that part.
CODB, baby, the cost of doing business.
We just took our fees and we paid a buyer's agent out. You know what I mean? But it's always going to be the same. It's just what value are you now bringing to the table as a real estate agent? And it is a good, for sellers asking that question. It is a solid question for them to ask, because one, they need to be educated on what we actually do, and they want to know, they don't need to list with somebody who's just looking to get a paycheck at the end of it. And just needs that house to get sold or whatever, they don't do a lot of business. There has to be value. We have to provide that. So like you said, there's many agents that, aren't so good. Maybe lenders the same way, but there's also plenty of agents and lenders who are top notch, who provide their value, and then at the end of it, the people don't mind paying whatever it is to cost because they understand the deal is taken care of. So
yeah, I think like we look at costs. If you look at it generally, it's a dollar amount, and people get nervous at a dollar amount. Mm-hmm. But when you look at, and we talk about this, the time value of money, the money value of time, however you want to take those three words and arrange them, right? You're dedicated to this job full time.
Full time. That's it. That's all I do.
I would venture to guess that in the current marketplace, you probably spend between 85 and 125 hours with a buyer.
Yeah. I would say
more than likely.
More than likely, yeah. More than likely, yeah.
And a lot of those are weekends, nights, time away from your kid.
Yeah.
Other times, those are the times where a regular laboring person is getting overtime, double time, all of that stuff.
Yep.
And availability, a lot of times, is the best ability.
It is the best ability.
And what I forgot who Brian Dawkins, I think, said that, former NFL player.
Yeah.
Look at the White Sox. You want to buy a house, do you want to deal with like a team that continues to try to get the value by signing contracts for unavailable injured players frequently?
Yep.
You're going to end up like them. You'll be 1-10 in the beginning of the season, and everyone hates you, and they're calling for heads. And
are you a White Sox fan?
Unfortunately,
I'm a Cubs fan.
Yeah, so. it's a torture. I'm into a little bit of.
I'm into both kind of torture, but the Cubs are a little decent this year so far.
At least you don't have you got Pedro go fall on the White Sox. Hey, I'm not going to watch the eclipse. I got to get this team in order, and then he's outside watching.
Yeah.
That's the kind of BS that we talk about jokingly about professional baseball and that thing, but as far as the whole availability thing goes with real estate, that's 85 to 100, 150. Even maybe you get customers. I've had borrowers on my side. It took them 2 years to find a house.
Oh yeah.
And so, at that point, you could be into a borrower 300, 400 hours.
Yeah. I've done plenty of those.
But you don't mind,
no.
It's your job. You don't have other things. It's your job to guide that person. You're betting on yourself that you are going to get that person to the closing table, buy or sell at some point.
Yep. I don't mind when don't think you're bothering me because I don't mind it. I want to provide the value to you that way. 7 days a week, nights, weekends, whatever it is. I don't mind doing that because I want to provide that value to you. Even if it takes you 2 years to find a home or whatever, maybe we want to provide that value to you so that you can go off and tell everybody else, hey, Nick Oosting, Tony Perry, Adam Haig, whoever it may be, they took the extra time, they were there, they answered it, they were on top of it, they did everything they could. That helps our business out, I believe, when you take care of those, and when you don't just want the easy ones, when you take the difficult ones that take a little while and take some actual work, that helps your business grow. So
it's a good notch in the karma column.
Yeah.
For whatever karma, juju, whatever you want to believe in. I think working with people that just passionately and genuinely care, there's not a dollar amount that you could put on that.
No.
Darius Rucker, I don't know if you're
you
can't put a dollar sign on a piece of mind, something along those lines. And I think when you're on the selling side of it, right? Your time value and money, or your money value of time. If you're working a regular job and you're trying to sell your house, right? Mm-hmm. You are dealing with a buyer is trying to coordinate a home inspection. Mm-hmm. They're trying to coordinate, the lender's got to coordinate the appraisal. Then you have to navigate when the buyer sends the attorney, or depending on what state you're in, a request for repairs. You're trying to help you. All of a sudden, it becomes a full-time job for a month for you.
Yeah,
potentially, or more.
Yeah.
And then a mistake can cost you 10, 15, 20,000, 30,000, an infinite amount of money. So that perceived savings is no different than, we've talked about this before. It's an infinite risk. Mm-hmm. It's driving a car without insurance. Right.
Yep.
It's not having someone, if you're a buyer, right? Not having someone to fight for you, or just to bitch at for a little bit, just about anything. I think that goes away. Not that we want to be, mental health counselors here, but sometimes you just need to vent about something. Or if you're a seller, sometimes you just need to get it off your chest. Well, now you're internalizing all of this and trying to navigate it. Well, guess who's going to catch it? The buyer that's buying your house. If you don't have representation or that proper barrier of representation, the seller, it becomes a mess. And I can't stress it enough to the regular general consumer out there. There is value in real estate agents. Do not let Joe Biden out there saying that, oh, the percentages has been too high for too long. We're going to save hundreds of millions of dollars. That's not the case.
It's only hurting the consumer in that case.
Correct.
That's all it is. You don't have representation. You don't do this every day. You don't know. We don't just list homes and put them on the multiple listing service and then walk away. Some agents might do that. That's not what I do. That's not what good agents do, who actually have a business, who actually have a grow a business model. That's not what we do whatsoever. That's the least of our worries. We can do that. We can do that in our sleep. Anybody can do that in their sleep. It's everything else that goes into it.
Having the honest conversation.
Yeah.
Not being afraid to have that honest conversation, right?
Yep.
Versus we've talked, the person that just shows up, takes a few pictures. Here's a CMA. I didn't look at any of these numbers. I think you should list your house for this.
Yeah.
And we see it time and time again. I have a customer closing a house on Friday. Okay. He moved from Illinois to a different state.
Yep.
The house he bought in a different state, there was no buyer agency commission. It had pictures that were taken like with a potato phone.
Yeah.
Right. This house sat on the market in a subdivision where every other house is sold inside of a week.
They went there with their cell phone and took pictures.
Yeah. This house was on the market for 97 days.
Oh man.
My buyer bought that house for $40,000 under the original list price and got a $10,800 closing cost credit. That's a $50,000 kick in the nuts to the seller on that.
Absolutely. But you and the buyer are happy.
Well, the buyer's thrilled. He got in it. His agent wasn't afraid to have the conversation and say, this is how this normally works. I receive commission. I am going to negotiate the hell out of this deal for you. Mm-hmm. And get you into a subdivision that you likely couldn't have on a normal transaction, wouldn't have been able to afford, but I'm going to show you this house and we're going to put the seller over a barrel.
Yeah. Well, that sounds like that's what happened.
And that's why this agent in that marketplace sells a lot of houses.
Yep. Because
they're just not afraid to put that on. It wasn't, there's got to be something wrong with the house. It was, no, this house is just not marketed correctly.
Right.
And how many times do you see that?
Oh, I can't believe how many times I see it. I mean, way too many times. I mean, we're always doing professional pictures, a lot of video work, aerial drone footage. I mean, when we're doing those pictures, we're making sure that, the lighting in the house is good, natural light, all the lights are on. I mean, every little small detail goes into a listing. And it doesn't seem important, but it is. I mean, yeah. And people talk about it. Like, they'll look at pictures and they'll swipe through, those pictures are bad, or, you don't want the house looking clear. You don't want the house looking that. You want all the lighting, natural lighting. I mean, and that's just one step. So then yesterday I was doing a photo shoot, just a regular size home, about 2,000 square feet. It took me almost 2 hours at that photo shoot, just to clear things out, move things. I mean, it wasn't a bad house, but people over the years, they accumulate a bunch of stuff and they maybe don't know how to set up and stage your homes, even though you kind of tell them what to do beforehand. So we make sure we go there early, and we're doing that. So we're helping the photographer, move things out of the way, hide them, and then put them back where they were, But I mean, we do that kind of stuff, but it makes a total difference in the marketing.
Well, you can't say no one ever goes and says, hey, they type in, I want to look for a closed concept home, or I want it to feel cluttered. Yeah. No, I want it to feel open concept, natural air, airy, right? But you can't, if you say open concept or airy, roomy, and you got stuff piled to the ceiling in these pictures, no one's going to come see that, because what else are you hiding, or what else are you lying about, or not displaying right? It's just the little details. Again, and the little details. Yeah.
And I want to touch base on the Rolodex of partners because I think that's important. That goes into kind of, hiring a real estate agent, because we have these partners that we can go to that make it seem so easy. That's years of experience that you're kind of paying for to help you, in order to make sure you have a smooth transaction, to make sure everything goes smoothly. You're actually working with a highly qualified guy. We've been working with each other for a while, been working with Hague for a while. Our attorney I've been working with for a while. Area Wide's a waterproofing company who I've been working with for a long time.
I've known Larry since before I was born.
How many times he's went in there and looked at a home and went down in the basement. And everybody thinks when you have maybe some water coming through, oh my God, this is gonna be $20,000. I got to rip this house apart and do the whole foundation. You can go in there, no, this is all you got to do.
Honestly, I would say that 50% of the deals that we've had Area Wide out on houses, not you and I, it's like 50% of the ones I've seen, it's gutters and downspouts being driven away from the house and proper grading.
Just simple stuff. But he's honest. They're honest. And
Well,
they're
yeah,
not trying to, but if you get a seller that's not using a real estate agent or not using a qualified real estate agent, they're just calling a number and they're going in there like, I'm going to get these guys, and they want to sell their home. So you know what I mean. And then you deal with that a lot. We used to get a bunch of quotes. Area wide comes in there and they take care of you. But we work those relationships. You know, you worked your relationships. We worked our relationships with you and everybody else. Like it's a 24/7 job that you're doing in order to make sure that when your clients need something, you have a professional right there lined up, ready to go. So it seems easy, but it's the years of experience and the fact that you guys trust us, you know, and vice versa, us trusting you, you know, that's what that is. I mean, you're not trusting all your clients with any real estate agent, are you? I think there's.
Oh no,
right.
I think I made it pretty clear at the Happy Gilmore event.
You did, yeah, great event.
There, you know, it was a great after party too.
Yeah, yeah.
Felt it the next day a little bit, but yeah, I don't trust. Like, I wouldn't refer a customer to an agent that I wouldn't refer my own family to.
Yeah,
and there's a very select few. But just like I said earlier, we opened this conversation, 149-ish transactions with real estate agents, one without.
Mm-hmm. And you're sophisticated enough where you could probably do it without, but
time value money.
Yes, time. Yes.
I don't have time. I'm busy trying to help you guys get mortgages.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to help other people, you know, everyone get mortgages.
If you're trying to save a buck on not using real estate, you're taking away helping the people, which is your actual career.
Yeah, I mean,
like
exactly.
To do that.
Like on a, you know, whatever, a $300,000 house, even if I list at whatever 6, I know we're not supposed to talk about general percentages and whatnot, but
right.
you know, $300,000 times this mythical number of 6% is $18,000.
Yeah.
Well, versus my time, I'll pay that all day to have someone babysit that transaction. I don't have time for that to mess me up.
In the meantime, you're making the money focusing on your career, what you're actually
focus on my career, spending time with my kid. You know, I have another one on the way. Like I have other things, working on my golf game. Love to break 80 this year, you know, like, but it's out of sight, out of mind for me because it's not my primary source of income.
Yeah.
And so but I'm in the business.
Yeah.
So if you look at it from, if you're a pipe fitter, real estate's more than likely not your regular type of business. You're not even in it normally. Mm-hmm. So thinking you're going to do it on your own.
Yeah. While you're working crazy. 5 days a week and trying to set up showings and trying to make sure you get, because the dates in the contract.
I'm welding this right now.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't really work like that. We don't get a hold on. I'll call you back later. We don't get to do that. But no, I mean, I just think that it's important because, you know, it was important to me when I first got in this business in order to align myself with professional people who will take care of my clients. It takes you a little bit to get there because you have to go out there and you have to meet and greet, and, you know, you have to prove your worth to these people to even kind of sit down with you because you know, people who were older than me in the business at the time have done that already. You know what I mean? But they're the ones that last. So, but I know that when someone asks me something, or if I have a professional who can do this, or I know anybody can do that, I can give them somebody that I trust that's going to go out there, not going to kill them on a price, give them the real deal, you know, because, you know, if area wide, just use an example, is coming in and they're always giving me some crazy price that I know is false. Why am I going to keep referring area wide out? We're not going to.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's the percentage of chance of closing the transaction or getting the thing done.
Yeah. Or, you know, just looking unprofessional. You know, they're trying to, you know, and some people are smart enough to understand they're getting taken advantage of. So, I mean, I think that's it. You know, the Rolodex of partners that we have to help make this all go smoothly. That's kind of what you pay for as well.
It's no doubt about it. Mm-hmm. It's like the perpetual infinite risk, all very, very limited upside. I think if we looked at it, if we broke it down in the last bit of this, extremely limited upside, exponentially large downside to not use professionals.
Yep.
That's about it, right? That's
every story you have for someone who does real estate, and you probably got 10, 15 more the totally opposite way.
Hey, is it the Tiger Woods odds here? Like the plus 40,000 on a hole in one, or the plus 25,000 on a course record? Like that's $100 to get you 25,000. Mm-hmm. Tiger's not breaking the course record, is he? Like, no. You know, so like let's not look at things so finite and so worrying about that. Let's look at the time value of money. Yep. If it's disrupting your income stream is your most powerful asset. Mm-hmm. So if you have to take away from your income stream or your peace of mind or your sanity, Just pay someone. You're willing to pay Hooters or Grubhub $40 to get your Hooters order to your house, right? Daily.
Yep.
Pay a professional.
Yep.
I don't know. That's about it. Anything else you got?
Well, that and do you ever get someone that maybe doesn't use you for mortgage, but then maybe they use Rocket Mortgage or something like that, and then all of a sudden, next you know, they're calling you up and trying to ask you questions, and you're not getting paid off all this, but you're supposed to be a good guy, and
I'll still give them information.
Yeah, I do the same. So it kind of comes back, if someone goes for sale by owner, and then they want to call me and ask me a bunch of questions, and it's this, that, and I still give the information, but at the same time, it kind of makes you scratch your head a little bit,
hey,
you want to do this.
I value your opinion, but I don't value your time, is what that tells me.
Right.
So unfortunately, that continues to happen, and people put up a firm barrier on their time and their opinion, right?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
Because in order for me to have my opinion, it took me a lot of time to get to that opinion or to that ability.
Right. So
yeah, I think that's we're here to help. Like I couldn't tell you. I probably have at least 4 conversations a week with someone that came back, because they didn't like what I said initially.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't because I delivered it poorly or I told them the truth. Well, a lot of people like to continue to go to the next place, and the next place, and the next place to get the feel good.
Yeah.
And eventually they end up back, hey, you know what? You were right. I have no motivation to not to not do that, to not be right. Like,
yeah.
I want to get the deal done. Novus doesn't pay me to sit at my desk and just talk to people. They want us to close deals.
Well, you're a local guy too, right? So
your
reputation means something.
It means
from small
everything.
towns, small areas, and Rocket Mortgage, a guy out there, whoever out of state guy, whoever they may use, they don't care.
They do not care.
They don't care. Why? Because you can't possibly tell anybody about them that's going to ruin their reputation.
They pay millions of dollars for their reputation.
Yeah.
And now, like, we see that, like, they're fighting with Rocket in their one arena is fighting with United Wholesale Mortgage in their other arena right now.
Yep.
You have 2 guys that own professional basketball teams.
Both from my college, Michigan State.
Yeah. Some MSU guys there, right?
MSU guys
it's
not bad for your college to have your 2 highest donors just throwing money to trying to get up the other guy.
I think it was like Rocket or UWMA had like an NIL deal with the offensive line at Michigan State.
Yeah.
But then Rocket had the headsets.
Yeah. So he's got the 2 biggest donors at the school, just both in the mortgage business, just going at it. So I guess for the school of Michigan State, that's okay.
But think about this real quick though. They have all of that money that they're throwing at putting their name places.
Yeah.
Their brand name. That money comes, the government doesn't give them that money. The consumer gives them that money.
Right.
Work with other companies, other mortgage companies, and I'm not going to just press Novus and say that they're the best. There's other companies that do it. There's companies that are doing other things like investing in veterans headspace situation, mental health for veterans, homelessness, food, famished people, poverty, like helping rebuild communities. These other places, it's just a cookie cutter dollar sign. And that happens with real estate too, a little bit. And I think that's maybe where real estate, unfortunately, some of it's probably headed with all of this settlement crap is the cookie cutter dollar sign. That means that cookie cutter, they don't care. It's you're fitting in this mold or you're costing yourself money.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
Anything else we got?
I think that's it. I think we covered a lot today.
We made the Amen corner.
We did. So last thing, we going over the Masters. We got.
Man, I think we're gonna go Rahm plus 1100. What do you got?
Rahm. I think I'm gonna try that, and then Scheffler is plus 420.
Yeah,
450, something like that.
It might be a decent hedge. If Rory's odds go up, like I don't really like him and Rahm at the same odds. I'm not really a fan of that idea.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'll probably get a little Tiger action in there too. One of these.
You got to. You got to throw a little Tiger in there. You never know.
Yeah, Tiger to withdraw by Saturday.
Yeah,
that'd be like minus 10,000.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll be back next week. We'll probably talk about whatever happened at the Masters, whatever happened this weekend. Weather is going to be beautiful here.
Oh, yes,
it is spring market. If you are thinking about selling your house, Nick, how do people reach you?
Oh, my Facebook page, Realtor Nick Oosting. Go ahead and take a look at that. Google Nick Oosting. Just see our reviews. They're all 5-star reviews. they'll see everybody in there, how they comment, how they like the way that we work and everything. And they can also give me a call anytime at 630-284-9624.
I love it. Thanks for being on again.
Appreciate it.
It's a nice watch. It's always, you guys haven't noticed that the time hasn't moved on it though.
Brianna got this for me. Shout out to her. So
Brianna, you got to get him some batteries though.
Yeah. You weren't supposed to call me out. It doesn't actually tell time. It's just all show.
All right. That's it. We'll see you guys next week.
We'll see you.